Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. So, next deck, normal slash rare festival. It's one of the deck lists or one of the deck choices that I uploaded a couple of days ago in the top 5 video. I optimized the deck list after some testing, and something that I changed, as you see here in the build, is that I added in the combination of fire and ice hands, simply because, Cyber Dragons are lacking their link here in the festival. They're lacking Infinity, obviously, so Nova is to go to rank 5 Exceed, but the deck is, quite weak to Disruption, plus you're kinda investing a lot in an Exceed summon. Before we had core and stuff like that, right? So you're kind of sacrificing some consistency. So that's why I added in the fire and ice hand as well. So again, just a super flexible normal summon, plus both of them, again, have the capability to, to destroy your opponent's cards, either spells, traps, or in case of Fire Hand, your opponent's monsters. And one of my favorite cards here in the deck, and that's the reason why I feel this deck is definitely a solid contender for this festival, is DNA Surgery. It's an old school card. It's a continuous trap that, as soon as you activate it, you can call a monster type. So because of this deck, you can just call machine type. So now all monsters that are on the field, face up, they'll become a machine type, and as you know, the combination with any Cyber Dragon monster, basically most of the cards, Cyber Dragon itself and the other ones, makes it so that you can go for like a contact fusion for Fortress, and again, you can use all machine types on the field, and that includes your opponent's monsters as well. And that's why I feel this deck is definitely a fun contender. Plus, and that's the thing, is that there are machine decks viable here in this particular format, like Trains, Shaddolls. Does Shaddol have like a couple of machines? I'm not sure. I don't know. Or Trains Gadgets, of course. One of the matches, what's it called? The Infinitrack, that as well. Anyway, so again, going first, the thing is that Cyber Dragons want to go second, because of Cyber Dragon, obviously, but I feel that, especially because you're running such a control-based deck, Fire Hand, Ice Hand, Cyber Dragon Hertz as well, and a lot of traps. I like the traps like Needle Sealing, Last Wind, Bottomless Trap Hole. It's definitely a 3 of, I feel, every deck for this format, because it doesn't target, and it hits a potential Draclubion, as you just saw. Was it in the previous duel? Or you'll see it in a couple of moments, but it doesn't target. So it's a fantastic card, especially here in this format. So I survived with 400 life points, and I'm like, okay, it's all or nothing. Reset the Last Wind, and I have one Cyber Dragon in hand. I'm going to flip over, or at least that's my plan, flip over the, DNA Surgery, and I was fearing the Bottomless here. Let's say if my opponent has like Book of Moon, doesn't matter, I can still go for the Contact Fusion, if I'm not mistaken. Plus I have the, the Search spell, but that needs a Cyber Dragon in my graveyard. So now I can go for a Chimeratech Fortress for 5, so I use 4 monsters from my opponent. So this brings me back, completely back in the duel. And of course have a potential Chalice set, which again negates effects, just like Last Wind, but again, Last Wind only targets special summoned monsters, and that's the reason why I searched Hertz. Is, I can just set it. It's basically an extra body, because again, I'm so low on life points. But Chimeratech for 5 or 4 from my opponent definitely feels nice. So last example duel, I think I'm going second, and this is definitely an okay hand for the festival. A couple of traps, and then Hertz as well. I mean, a Cyber Dragon would be nice. But we see that my opponent is playing another machine deck, so Infinity Track or Infinitrack with gadgets as well. You'll be seeing it within the next couple of moments. And here I was like, well, I probably should have gone for just normal summon Hertz and then, Contact Fusion for Chimeratech, but I was like, well, let's just wait it out a little bit, you don't want to invest too many resources just yet. I was like, well, maybe because of the 2 sets as well, like, kinda, how do you say it, force my opponent to commit his resources. But again, Draclubion hits the board, and obviously, right, because of the combination of Anchor Drill that, boosts up another machine-type monster on your side of the field. So Those are two machine types on my opponent's side of the field. So now, again, my opponent has information that I'm running Cyber Dragon, so he should be scared. The Ice Hand is there as well, which I feel I should be investing in that first. So, again, not giving because of the Needle Ceiling. I was like, okay, maybe my opponent is going to summon another monster, so I can flip over the Needle Ceiling for a lot of pluses. He doesn't, so, okay, that's fine. I can capitalize on both Fire and Ice Hand. And most importantly, keep in mind that both of them need to destroy their target in order for it to special summon the counterpart for at least from the deck. So Fire Hand into Ice Hand and Ice Hand into Fire Hand. Ice Hand important here in this situation because it hits both back row, and I believe both of them were, yeah, indeed, compulsory and torrential. So again, Ice Hand definitely paying off. And just keep my opponent's machine type monsters on the field. I can drop a potential Cyber Dragon or Nexter and then contact away everything. I don't even need the DNA surgery here in this matchup. Unless, of course, I want to hit like stuff like Draclubion. And speaking of Draclubion, that's why Triple Chalice is there. If you're going second, Draclubion is a big threat, like your opponent ending on Draclubion into Hard Earth. If you're going second, if you don't have Chalice or stuff like Book of Moon, it's very hard because your opponent will just banish all of your cards. And this is what I was fearing, is that's why I didn't special summon Nexter from my hand, because of the potential torrential, Needle Ceiling. Again, there was no reason to overcommit to the board. So I kept Cyber Dragon, the regular Cyber Dragon, in hand. Definitely going to use Last Wind again. I don't want to, at least, even though I do have a bottomless set, which again hits Draclubion, same for Needle Ceiling, but again I need more. There needs to be at least 4 monsters on the field, either face up or face down. So that's not a machine type, it's fine though, because again my opponent went for the extra deck summon. That's why I definitely like, again, I feel it's pretty much almost a staple in almost every deck, almost, the Last Winds, right? Because of this, your opponent commits an extra deck monster to the field, and then you can just reset all of your copies from the graveyard. Toon Cyber Dragon does have the disadvantage that it cannot attack during the turn it's summoned, so that's a small bummer. Yeah, again, Ice Hand, it's still there. If my opponent decides to destroy it, I can, you know, like worst case scenario, still destroy one of the face-up continuous spells, and then, you know, I can go from there. Or, you know, this is definitely going to be my duel. So, this is going to be an exceed, yep, because of Hertz. You can only use one of Hertz's effects, so, you know, rank up or put its... the level, put it at level 5, right, for the rank 5 exceed play. Again, Toon Cyber Dragon cannot attack, but again, I'm in full control of the duel. Plus, if my opponent is able to destroy the Nova with the card effect, I can special summon that big fusion from the deck, or at least from the extra deck as well. That's why it's there. So, this should be game. Yeah, my opponent is sitting at 6400, so attack with basically everything, and then, you know, Nova can tribute the Cyber or banish a Cyber Dragon on my side of the field to increase its attack, and that's definitely GG. So definitely give this deck a try. It's a super fun deck, playing with stuff like, DNA Surgery is super fun, forcing out your opponents, you know, let them commit to the board, play around the hands, and then, you know, flip over that DNA Surgery for a big Chimeratech Fortress. It's definitely something to, you know, try out. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Leave me signing out. Peace.